Hi, welcome to the Catholic Corner. I'm Monsignor Walter Nolan. You know, if you're a regular viewer of the Catholic Corner, I'm sure you've heard of the Reimage Film Festival. It's sponsored by our diocese, the Diocese of Trenton. The Reimage Film Festival is a short film festival which features competitions for high school students, college students, young adults, and the general competition of any age group. Awards are given for the best picture, mission excellence, and another voted on by the audience called the Viewer's Choice. The mission of the festival is to encourage the next generation of storytellers. And some of you know that I'm a big storyteller myself. But the next generation of storytellers to explore the glory of God in His creation, persevere for justice and truth, and uphold and defend the dignity of the human person, which is so, so important in today's age. The Reimage Film Festival, the committee, is gearing up for the third annual competition. Two members of the committee are here with me today to encourage our viewers, our young viewers especially, to submit their own short film in the festival. Patrick Dolan is the coordinator of the festival. He also works for our diocese, the diocese and the Department of Radio and Television as producer and editor. Patrick, bless you. Thanks for coming with us today.
Thank you.
Matt Greeley is a member of the committee and also the associate director of the Department of Youth, Marriage, and Family Life. Well, it's a
mouthful.
Big job, Matthew. But again, welcome, Matthew.
Thanks, Monsignor.
They might have known both of these young men. They're beautiful, beautiful young men who work with us and for us, and especially for your youth. Where do we begin? This Reimage Youth Festival, it's still fairly new, right? Third year?
That's right, yes.
Tell me a little bit about the progress so far and when and where the third annual festival will be held.
Well, the when and where is, it's going to be May 6th of 2012. That's a Sunday at the Algonquin Arts Theater in Manasquan, New Jersey.
Now was there last year, I think, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yes, we love the venue so much. They offered like a nice video projector, nice film projector, plenty of seats, a nice stage for our filmmakers to discuss their work. So we felt that it would be great to do it again there.
It's really the perfect venue, you know, and the town of Manasquan too. It's just adds to the event, adds to the whole day. And St. Denis Parish there, we're going to have an opening mass this year, which is something new. Their 11 o'clock mass that morning, Sunday morning. You know, they're very kindly going to welcome everyone and kick us off. So it'll be great.
Well, that sounds really, really terrific. Before we take a little view of some of it, what's a Reimage Film Festival? I know I'm just getting interested in some of this myself, but maybe you can explain it again and to our viewers.
Well, the name is actually kind of like a contraction between reflecting the image of God. So as we're all made in the image and likeness of God, we were trying to promote films that show the dignity of the human person, of humanity. So in a large way, that's what Reimage is all about. Like the themes that you said before, we try to follow those and encourage filmmakers to kind of pick topics from those themes and do their films on them.
And a film festival is just like any other film festival, correct?
Well, I think there are a lot of different formats for film festivals. Ours, we focus on short films. They can be a minute long, can't be more than 25 minutes. And we really break it up into these three categories: high school, young adult, university, and then a general competition. So there are three large chunks of these short films, and it's just fantastic because really it's so diverse.
Well, Matthew and Pat, before we go any further, let's meet some of the people who attended last year's festival and see what they have to say about the experience.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to have the opportunity to witness so many young people who are talented and creative and who have a purpose.
I would definitely come back again.
I was very impressed with the quality of some of the entries in the competition.
Everyone likes to watch movies, and if your faith is important to you, then this is something really worthwhile. I'd bring the kids.
I love the ones made by teenagers. I thought they were phenomenal.
I saw a lot of great movies from a lot of young people.
We entered our own film this year, and we're planning on doing the same next year.
I think it's great. I think it just brings people together and shows them like what film is all about.
Just the experience of coming and watching all these films, meeting the actors or producers of the films, it's a lot of fun.
There was a really great spirit in that auditorium.
How this ministry and how the Catholic Church is reaching out to people through film. It was really interesting and a blessing.
I would definitely come back, and I want to bring like 10 friends with me next year.
It was a good experience. I enjoyed it a lot. Just opened my eyes and rejuvenated me.
This is a positive thing, and I think people should come out and support it and celebrate beauty and faith.
To see those kind of positive things is always a good positive feeling from anybody who attends the film festival.
To see everything from animation, documentary, some light-hearted kind of stuff.
I love them all.
I'd really like to actually see them again and discuss them with my faith group and some of my girlfriends and even my kids.
We got to talk to the movie makers after we saw their movies, and they kind of asked questions and things like that. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
I would recommend coming. I feel like anyone, whether they're a filmmaker, they like movies, or they just like watching different films, I feel like they would have a lot of fun here.
My friend Facebooked me and told me she was coming and asked me to go with her, and we came together, and it was wonderful. I'm so glad that I came.
It's so great, all those youth groups that entered films.
Here they should definitely come out and support the young people and just their opportunity again to have their voice heard and to see that there is a generation of young people who are passionate and concerned about the world. I would recommend to everybody to come to next year's festival.
I just wish everybody could have been here to share it with us.
Isn't that marvelous?
It is. That's the first time I'm seeing that. That's great.
And you know, it's just, we've talked in the past on other shows and different things about how, you know, our faith encapsulates so much and how the different media expressions allow us to feel that. Certainly this is, I mean, movies have always been a part. In fact, now that I've getting into this retirement mode a little bit, I said to myself, wouldn't it be nice if I just watched the best 100 moral movies or something of that nature, because some of them are very, very good. And to get young people excited and to do it, to be movie makers and well as critics, marvelous.
Yeah, no, that's what
You're
it's
really
all
doing a
about,
great
sure.
job. But tell me a little bit more. I know you're especially interested in the young people. Tell me a little bit more about why and getting them involved to produce their own and to attend this festival.
Well, one of the things I love, and just going with what you were just saying about the type of media and using film as, you know, to kind of share a message and tell a story, you know, it just makes me think of Christ using parables, and that was the best teaching tool, you know, and he knew it was a way to reach people where they were at, and everybody could grasp something from the story. And I think these, you know, the films that we've been getting have just been so diverse and creative. And like some of the people that were just interviewed, you know, like they shared, they tell the story of our faith from their own perspectives, and I think offer us ways, you know, to hear it with new ears. And so for young people, we're definitely, you know, Reimage, we're hoping to really engage young people. You know, we know they're gifted and talented. It's not that they're just studying, they don't have anything to offer now, you know, and they need to just hear from the older people. No, you know, they're on the journey, on the road with us, and we have a lot we can learn from them. And so the films that we've been getting from our teens, from our university students, have just been profound, beautiful, and I'm just amazed by the creativity. And as one of the gentlemen in that little ad said, you know, even with animation, using cartoons, just fascinating to me. And I think there's something for everybody.
Well, I don't mind telling you, Pat and Matthew, that I haven't seen all of them because I just wouldn't have the time to do that. But, you know, when you invited me down a couple of times, I've watched some, and I've actually used some in homilies because they did capture that much. And I'm saying to myself, well, you know, because the story is, you know, you allow it to be told and allow it to be felt. Yeah. And Patrick.
Well, I was going to say, even for young people, I think a lot of them are more inclined to use technology. A lot of them have cameras on their phones, you know, that can capture video or HD video, whatever. And then have that capability to edit and then put it onto a place like YouTube or something. What we're trying to do is challenge them to now, you know, take it up a notch. You know, maybe make a more professional looking piece and bring your faith into it.
And just to go with what you were just saying, 2 months, the films, I've used the films as well in different presentations and workshops. They're just, again, tremendous teaching tools. You know, there was one that really stood out to me last year, and although I'm blanking on the title, but it was the story of Christ, Jesus' life, the story of the Gospels, and Jesus, you know, meeting with other fishermen. The main character's name was JC, and just clever little details. You know, the multiplication of the loaves and fish, and they bring, I think it was an Italian, or a loaf of Wonder Bread and a can of tuna fish, you know, but it was very silly, but really, I don't know, showed the story in a different way, and I don't know, really, I found it enlivening.
Well, it certainly does this to me anyway, being older than you fellas and older than some of the people who would do that. It's a wonderful thing to see how the imagination of different age groups or cultures interacts with the faith of Christ, which is forever and ever, but how it can be seen in different areas or different ways and produced in different ways,
yes.
Which is a marvelous, marvelous thing.
For sure.
And as you said, I learned this when I was a young priest, high school chaplain, and I remember that I gave a retreat, and I was that time doing a little bit of clowning things. And I said to the kids, you want me to give you another talk, or you want to learn a little bit about the theology of clowning? Well, of course, you know what the kids would say. But I was amazed at their imagination, you know, and how they would put together things that I'm saying, I said, gosh, they're making the gospel alive out of broomsticks, and it's just a tremendous, tremendous thing. What are you doing to foster this idea for the young people? In other words, you know, what techniques are you using to get them to come and to be involved in?
Well, something new that we introduced this year was actually holding a workshop for high school students. It was actually at WHYY in Philadelphia. They actually facilitate filmmaking workshops, and they have computer labs where kids can learn how to edit and you know, shoot using professional cameras. So we thought it would be a great idea to foster more interest in the film festival by obviously teaching them how to use these tools, and also how to think critically about you know, how to use your faith in putting together a production. Now, this is focused on documentary filmmaking, and it was only a 6-hour course, but they were able to, from start to finish, put together a small script, go out and shoot interviews on the street, and have an edited piece all ready to go by the end of the program. So,
just to add, I mean, one of our goals and objectives with the whole film festival is to encourage storytelling. So this is the workshop, and it's something that can be repeated.
Yes.
It's something that really we want to encourage the telling of the story. You know.
Now, you plan more of these workshops, or are you going to reach out to some of the universities or colleges or?
Well, we're hoping to expand on what we've started. And offering something more for those interested in narrative filmmaking, which is where you're bringing actors, where you're doing a lot more script writing. You need to know how to light and use the camera more in depth. So we're hoping to do that starting in January, hopefully.
I would think that's a great gift to some of the young teen clubs or the young.
Well, we were very excited. The spots filled up, I think, in 2 weeks.
About 10 days, yeah.
Something like that, and we had a waiting list too. So it's very, it's something, we're trying to meet the young people where they're at and just offer them the tools and opportunity to share their gifts.
Nothing wrong with a waiting list.
I guess you got that right.
That's terrific.
Unless you're on it.
That's true. Well, then you do something to get up there, you know? True. Let's take another look at a video segment featuring a few of the young people who participated in the workshop that you were talking about, Patrick and Matthew. It was co-sponsored by WHYH-TV in Philadelphia.
WHYY, yeah.
WHYY. Yep. Okay, thanks. Let's take a look at that now.
Great.
I didn't really know what to expect. We were told we were going to be looking at some documentaries, but I wasn't really sure what we were going to be doing, and I'm glad we did this because it was a lot of fun.
I expected to take away a lot of knowledge about editing.
Coming from a school with a media arts program, I expected to learn more about the behind-the-scenes footage using Final Cut, and I actually learned a lot more on Final Cut than I would on iMovie, so it was really productive and it was really helpful.
I learned a lot about editing, I learned a lot about being a good interviewer, and a lot about voiceovers, things that we haven't covered yet in my class. Yeah, I learned so much. I mean, I knew a little bit before this, but I learned a lot today.
Describe the most exciting experience you had throughout the workshop today.
It's definitely going outside and on the man on the street interviews, filming and just kind of getting a sense of people's opinions on our topic. You know, seeing people from all all over the world, all over the country.
I think just getting to edit, because I was okay at it before, and I think everything I learned today really made it much more exciting for me to get the chance to edit in a place where, like, I knew a little bit more than some of the other people in my group, and I was able to teach them, and I was able to learn from what they knew, and it was really exciting.
I think the most exciting experience was walking around the city with my friends, not only learning about the citizens of Philadelphia and about the technology, but then coming back, editing it, and making a full project out of it.
Tell me if you feel like you can produce a short film from the training you had today.
I could actually, and I think that maybe this year or next year I want to do the film festival because it's just something that I really like to do, like editing.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I can produce a short film. With the friends I have that we learned Final Cut as a team, I think we can definitely get that done. I definitely recommend this workshop. Like I said, the behind-the-scenes footage was a great learning experience. On-street interviewing was a great experience. Everything about it was just awesome.
I have friends actually who wants to be either a movie director or a filmmaker when she grows up, so I'll definitely recommend it to her.
A lot of people from my school were here, and I think we all could pass this on to future people in our classes that like this.
What would you change, if anything, about the format and structure of today's workshop?
I wouldn't really change anything. I feel it ran pretty smoothly.
I would make it just a little longer, because there's a lot of detail when we're making the movies. We didn't really get to edit it in time.
I feel like we were a little rushed at the end to get everything finished, so maybe like an extra hour or something, if that would be possible. Just give someone a little bit more time to finish editing their video.
Do you think that another day would be beneficial, a 2-day workshop?
That would definitely be great, because then you could even work on a little bit longer of a video and make it just that much better.
To be honest, I don't think I'd change anything. It was a great time period, great time slot. It wasn't too long, wasn't too short. I learned a lot in a great amount of time, and I'll be able to take this back home and learn a lot from it.
Very cool. I think that last young man said it all, didn't he? I learned a lot and take it back home and put it together. Yep. When I was saying that, I was just thinking how marvelous it would be, and I'm sure for your own hearts, that someday, you know, one of these youngsters, is producing something rather large, and all of a sudden says, "Well, how'd you start?" Well, back in the Diocese of Trenton, you know.
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't it be exciting?
Seeds planted.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Planting seeds.
That's right.
That's what it's really all about. So, what do we say? I mean, they look so excited. I mean, I can imagine that next year you have another workshop, Patrick. I'm sure you'll have another waiting list.
That's right. I think from the success of this, it shows that people are certainly eager to get their feet wet in doing real filmmaking. So,
and what do you say to young people now? I mean, you want to get them involved, you want them to get into the competition, you want them to come to the festival. What are you going to say to them?
Well, just that there are so many messages and so many different ways. Like, even if you didn't like one film, if one film doesn't really speak to you, well, 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, you're going to get another one that's completely different. So it's just for the day itself to come and experience the Reimage Film Festival. Honestly, it's just an amazing event. It's an amazing day, an amazing experience. It's community building. There are opportunities to share, to question, but I don't know, you see so many things.
I think it's a great learning experience to learn more about your faith, things that you didn't know, to learn more from the people who are producing this. And I think it would be a great, if you have that interest, but you don't think you have the means, speaking to people your age, because that's the thing, you don't have to wait to enter this. You can start as soon as you enter high school to be producing your own film.
And even if the first one isn't a winner, so to speak, there's always a winner inside of you.
Oh, definitely. And you're just, the first time you tell a story, it's not necessarily the best telling of that story. So I think also something that stands out to me is that there are so many different levels and different ways to get involved in filmmaking, in telling the story. So I think the Reimage Film Festival really offers so many different ways and opportunities for people to get involved and to plug in. So that's the kind of stuff I think.
Matthew, you just remind me when you're saying an opportunity to tell a story. I've always said to tell a story once, you tell a story. You tell a story twice, you become a theologian. Tell a story 3 times, you become a mystic. Tell all these youngsters, we need more mystics in the church.
Yes,
okay?
For sure.
That is terrific. And what is theology but faith, seek, and understanding? And you give them the opportunity to take their faith, understand it a little bit, and see it through eyes that are maybe not the eyes of everybody, but the eyes of your soul that touches other souls. Just terrific. Okay, somebody wants to enter a film. What's the criteria? What did they do? I guess they got to make the film first. So tell me all about this.
Okay, well, usually we want it under 25 minutes. Actually, it's under 25 minutes. It can be more than a minute. It doesn't have to be 25 minutes. Some of the best films that we got last year were 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So it doesn't have to be a long, epic film or anything like that. So that's one thing. It has to be had to have been completed after January 2009. We want most of the films to be current. So, and then it has to adhere to one of the themes that you said earlier. You know, upholding, defending the dignity of the human person, capturing the glory of God in His creation, and persevering for justice and truth. I think from those themes, you could look at any number of topics to base your film on. So.
And when you say that upholding the glory of God, I'm not the big theologian, but I always like to look at things. And at the beginning, it says in the beginning, God created the world on the first day. He said, "Let there be light." Well, it wasn't the moon and the sun. I think that was the fourth day. So he said, "What's this light on the first day?" And I say to myself, "That's the glory of God." So that means the glory of God is bursting in through everything and all things. And of course, Jesus came to kind of cement it in the way it should be cemented, So we have all of those wonderful gifts that the children have. Now you said something about it has to be 2009. It has to be after that.
Yes.
But if they have something after that, it's already done. They could bring it.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely. So they go to reimagefilmfestival.com, and they can find out a lot of the information too there. What else?
Oh, and we're on withoutabox.com, which is a large film festival directory. That's what all the big-time film festivals use to get their entries in. So it makes it very easy for people.
You just taught me something.
Okay.
Without a box?
It's called withoutabox.com. You can send your film in digitally. You don't have to package it. That's the whole idea of Without a Box, that you can submit it through the internet. So.
I wish I was young again. Now, why is it so important for our church, our Catholic Church, to be involved in this type of event? How does it promote our faith? I mean, Jesus said, "Come and tell everybody about the word."
I think it's, I think for filmmakers, it's incredibly important that the church, or they feel supported by their church, where, if they take a career in filmmaking, it can go any direction, I think if they feel like the church is behind them, they're going to reflect that. They want to, do messages that, show the love of God in different ways. So,
and as Catholics, we're called to build the kingdom, to evangelize, to share and to be on the road with one another and with Christ, and even another play on this word reimage, to really re-image, to change, some of the images that are out there, to offer, this countercultural kind of imaging that we are created in the image and likeness of God, and that life is good, life is a gift, to recognize the graces, the blessings in our lives, but with all these creative ways.
And also, I think it's important that we cultivate leaders who are going to become executives in, for movie studios or TV studios or what have you. Barbara Nicolosi, who was our Gravitas Award winner last year at the film festival, she spoke to a large extent about the importance of, Catholics need to, get into higher positions in Hollywood, and, so that they can be like the leaders, so other people can look up to them for guidance, and, and that God's message can come out loud and clear from those, from those high areas. So.
And some, I guess, would even learn how to be a critic in a sense, even if they weren't producing films. How to like you were saying, Pat and Matt, how they could look at it through the eyes of a faith with some moral dimensions to it.
Yes.
And to speak about, because I love to even when I search for ideas in homily sometimes, I love to hear people talk about what this message is saying, or pros and cons to it, so that we can learn from it and we can live it.
And something I think that a lot of the films we've gotten, and I'm sure we will get this for this next film festival, they're not necessarily overtly religious, or the message isn't going to hit you over the head, but it makes you think, and it gets you to try and see, I think, with new eyes. And so, none of these films are predictable. You know, we're not looking for just predictable faith stories. We're really looking for stories that are real, that are, you know, that represent, I think, the diversity and the many dimensions of life today.
Yeah, and when you said the many dimensions, I love that, because it's not just, what would I say? It's not just, you know, life alive. It's the dignity of people. I mean, there's so many subjects out there in a world that's so complex today. I mean, how do we make decisions that are moral decisions that affect, you know, many people from around the world these days, which is a marvelous, marvelous gift.
Sure.
What's the first step that someone should take if they want to make a short film? And what do they just get some people together? What do they do?
I would say, you know, think about stories, think about the messages that you want to convey. Start with a synopsis, you know, start with a treatment. That will take you to the next step, which is script writing, which is getting together with your crew, people who you want to produce it, whether you're just working with a group of people or you know, just doing it by yourself. I think it's important just to,
Do they need a cast and a crew, or can they start small and write something and say, well, to their friends, hey, I need a couple of people to help me?
They can certainly start small.
I think when we look at the animations, you're looking at, you know, like a group of animators maybe, you know, but when you're actually doing something in front of a camera, you will require a crew, but it can be, you know, a couple people.
Do you need a lot of equipment?
A camera, I would think.
That's right.
I don't know. A camera and a microphone. I mean, we've had you know, different parish youth ministry groups enter films, create their own films. So it can be something that can be done even like on, you know, parish grounds, and
sure.
You know, that a youth group can come together and put a film together and enter it, you know, as their youth group.
If I wanted to do it, or a youth wanted to do it, can they do it like in a day? Does it take 30 days, or maybe a mixture of both?
Well, like we saw at the workshop, kids put together an excellent piece in about 6 hours, which I thought was phenomenal. Other projects are going to take a lot longer, obviously, but there's a whole range.
So it all depends on their story, their theme, and exactly what they want to do.
And their availability
and what's
and
accessible
life.
to them.
Matthew
yes.
and Patrick, God bless you. You're doing great, great work. Honest out for the church, for the kids, and for families. Please keep it up.
Selfish.
For more information on how to enter the Reimage Film Festival, please go to reimagefilmfestival.com. reimagefilmfestival.com. Bless you, love you. Stay involved. Bring your films. They'll enjoy it.
May
They will
6th.
enjoy it.
See you May 6th.
Bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
That was pretty fast.
It always goes fast.
It does.
Oh, hey. In this business, it's easy to feel like the low man on the totem pole.
Thanks, hon.
But I'll let you in on a secret. I'm working on my own movie.
Coming through.
Yeah, that's right. Just in time for this year's Reimage Film Festival, a celebration of faith-inspired short films sponsored by the Catholic Diocese of Trenton. For more information, go to reimagefilmfestival.com. Reimage Film Festival. See you there.